guest. We got my dude, Darc Chain.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, King?
Man, life is good.
So, man, Darc Chain, what made you come up with the name?
It's most people probably wouldn't even believe it, man. My daughter, my oldest daughter, when she was younger, probably maybe like 2 years old, I was wearing a black chain and she was playing with it. And I was asking her then at the time, I was trying to come up with my entertainment company. And, you know, just messing around with her, was like, what do you think I should name my entertainment company? And first thing came out of her mouth was Darc. And I ran with it. So, you know, it came up, it was like Darc Chain. Okay, Darc Chain. Bet, you know. I just, later on down the line, I just started spelling it differently because D-A-R-K was too broad, you know. So I started spelling D-A-R-C to make me stand out. I like being different.
Right. Yeah. So you from Lincolnton? Lincolnton, Georgia.
Lincolnton, Georgia, man.
Lincolnton, Georgia. Where's it near?
Thompson, Washington.
Thompson, Washington. Okay.
Yeah, about 30 minutes from Augusta.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Born and raised there?
I was born in Augusta, Georgia, raised in Lincolnton.
Okay. So how was it like growing up in Lincolnton?
Man, my childhood was, my family was poor. You know, I pretty much came from nothing. I was raised in a house with no bathroom.
No bathroom?
No bathroom. No bathroom at all.
Yeah.
We had an outhouse. You know, that was kind of hard coming up as a kid, you know, and going to school when, you know, people knew that. So, of course, I used to get picked on about that, you know. Not necessarily, I ain't going to say bullied, but definitely picked on.
Especially when kids don't understand.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't something that, you know, it was out of my control. It was out of my mom's control, my dad's control. But, you know, it was just, during that time, that's just the way it was. You know, we didn't have the money to have the luxury that, like, other people that had, you know. And then, you know, my dad, he was there with us, who was the sole provider up until he died. He died in 91. I was about 12 years old.
Dang. Okay.
So it was just me and my mom from that point.
So after the death of your father, like, I know it took a toll on you. After the death of your father, like, how was life flowing after that?
It's, you know, it was more so one of those things, like, I had to step up and become a man at an earlier age, you know. My mom took it the hardest. You know, and being that she took it so hard, I had to really become an adult very quickly in my life.
You're the only child.
I'm the only child with my mom, yeah. So, you know, like I said, it was just her and I, and, you know, being that she took it so hard, it got to the point where I had to start providing a lot for myself.
Right.
You know, I started working when I was at the age of 14, and I've been working ever since.
What was your first job?
At a barbecue shack.
Oh, okay.
Washing dishes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up?
And then after that, I went to start working at Hardee's up in Lincoln, doing my high school years. And it was just, like I said, it was just more so I had to really step up and take care of myself, you know. And I mean, it's nothing to say negative to my mom, but I just know she took it real hard when my dad died. You know, that was her husband, you know.
Right.
So, you know, but for the most part, she still did her part as a mother to raise me to be the man I am today. Right.
So, how was the how old were you when you moved to, well, before you came to Augusta, you was in the Army?
Yeah.
In the Army. So, what made you join the Army?
To get out of Lincoln? No lie, man. Yeah. No lie. I mean, actually, before I went to the Army, I went to Job Corps.
Job Corps. Oh, yeah, you did went to Job Corps.
Yeah, I went to Job Corps.
How long you went to Job Corps for?
I did. I stayed in Job Corps for about a year.
About a year.
Yeah, and
what trades you learning now?
I got a business clerical. Okay. You know, and I also got my GED in Job Corps because I didn't even graduate from high school. Yeah. You know, not saying that I couldn't. I knew the work. You know, I was like a little nerd in school, but, you know, I got up to about 11th, 12th grade year. I started, you know, branching out into some extracurricular activities.
Right.
And then, you know, life just took me to a different direction at the time. And I didn't graduate, but, you know, as soon as I got the Job Corps, I got my GED.
Right. So that's what's up.
You know,
man.
and then completed my trade, and then after that, they pretty much told me you got to go.
So being in Job Corps, I know a lot of people that go to Job Corps. They say that the parties, there's a lot of things in Job Corps that can get you sidetracked too as well.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Job Corps was, yeah. If you ain't focused on really trying to do something with yourself, it's so easy to get sidetracked, man. You know, it's all about what you're trying to do, though.
Right.
You know, and I mean, I went in there. I know I was focused on a goal. You know, I was having fun with it, but I was focused on a goal. But you know, at the same time, with me being focused on a goal, I mean, Job Corps for me was for me coming from high school or being a nobody and not having nothing to going to Job Corps to becoming the homecoming king.
Right.
You know, in the year 2000. So, I mean, it made me feel like I was somebody. You know what I'm saying? I was very popular.
Right.
So, you know, but I was very popular because I was focused on my goals and I was focused on what I was there for and I was taking care of my business.
Right. Right.
You know. And then, I mean, not only did my peers around me know that, but my instructors and everybody around me, they knew that too. So, I mean, they definitely helped guide me along the way. So, I mean, definitely Job Corps was a step to help me get to where I'm at now. Okay. So, I mean, it definitely did something good for me.
Okay, that's what's up, man. And so after Job Corps, that's when you went to the Army.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't want to go back to Lansing, so.
Yeah. So what made you choose? You chose the Army. What made you choose the Army besides the Navy, Marines, Force?
Well, when I took my ASVAL, I already knew I wasn't doing the Navy because I don't know how to swim. Yeah. I ain't want to be on the water.
Yeah.
I already knew I wasn't doing the Marines because Marines is crazy as hell.
Yeah.
So it was going to be the Air Force or the Army.
Okay.
I took my ASVAL and at the time I scored a 49 on my ASVAL. I needed to score a 50 to join the Air Force. The first time I took, I scored 49. Damn. I really wanted Air Force.
Right.
So my recruiter's like, try it again. I tried it again and scored the same thing. So at that point, I was like, you know what? Forget it. So the Army was like, you can come in the Army. Like, okay, bet. Let's run. Right. Let's go.
And so you served 4 years.
Yeah, I did 4 years.
4 years. So being in the Army, so you spent 2 years in Iraq.
Yeah.
So how was it spending the 2 years in Iraq? How was it? Was it like in the movies with the desert and dust and kids and just dangerous people ready to kill you everywhere you turn around?
It depends on which movie it is. I mean, one of the main movies that I know relate to a lot what I went through was Jarhead. I think that's the movie that Jamie Foxx played in, if I'm not mistaken. They related to a lot of the things that I seen that was in the movie. As far as with being in the desert with the sand, the stuff we had to deal with, you know, it was definitely there. And during the time when I went, you know, of course, it was wartime. Actually, my unit shot the first shot. And from that point, we went to war. So, unlike some people might say, you know, I didn't just spend a peaceful time over there. I actually went through war in the situation to the point where, yeah, I was in combat, fighting for my life. You know, I'm shooting at them, they're shooting at me. So, you know, it's you know, the things that I seen and things that I did, you know, it takes a toll on your mind.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, you'll never come back the same.
Right.
But, you know, it's everyday living. I still have to deal with it now, you know. Right. I can't forget those thoughts. Right. They'll never go nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Right. But that's just, you know, that's what I signed up for. That's what I did. I don't regret it.
Right. Would you, if you can go back and change some things, would you change anything?
In my life?
From the Army.
From the military?
From the military.
Nah. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it still made me the man that I am today. Right. You know, and I mean, I do feel like I'm a better person than, based on what I come from, you know, and things that I've seen. You know, I mean, it takes experience to make a man, you know, it takes knowledge and you know, the actual do things to make the person that you are, you know. Right. And so, I mean, I don't regret anything that I did because of the person that I am. I feel like I'm probably the best person I can be. Right. And I mean, I don't feel like I can be any better. Right. the only change I probably would say I would love to do in my life is if I would have known to do a lot of these changes and become the man that I am today earlier in my life. You know, I'm 41. I've been through a lot. You know, there's bad relationships. You know, just being kind of like distant from a lot of people, including family. You know what I'm saying? Right. A lot of people didn't really know what was going on with me. I never really talked about it too much. You know, this is probably the first time I'm really speaking on it. Right. You know, to be where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you know, it's just the things that I went through then. It was nothing that I really wanted to speak on. And I just did my own thing, and I stayed distant from a lot of people. And I mean, even to the point where I had a lot of bad relationships due to my character at the time, you know. And I realize this now, but I didn't know it then. You know, it took for me to actually, you know, I had to go through treatment. You know what I'm saying? I had to go through counseling. You know, for a lot of things, for the military, for my childhood. You know, I had to go through all that just to, you know what I'm saying, try to figure out who am I supposed to be. Right. And, you know, and try to do better in my life. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Because you can't be a better person unless you fix you.
Yeah.
For one.
Right, right.
So, leaving the Army, what made you leave the Army?
Actually, it was the end of my my contract after 4 years. Yeah. I already had spent 2 years in Iraq, and we had just came back. And then I was going to actually, I did re-enlist. I re-enlisted for another 4 years, and I was going to go to career. But during the time when I re-enlisted and the time when I was about to leave for career, my mom got sick. Right. She had had back surgery, right. Or surgery on her spine. And being I'm the only child with her, I didn't want to leave her, you know, one. And two, once I found out what unit I was going to, they was deploying right back to Iraq. I didn't want to go to Iraq. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't giving me no time. It might have been less than 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So, like, y'all about to send me right back over there. I already did 2 years. Right. But, so, you know, what a lot of people don't know is, during that time when my mom got sick, you know, I was PCS into Korea, but I came down to here to Augusta and signed in at Fort Gordon. And I was going to do a compassionate reassignment. That's basically saying that I was trying to get assigned here at Fort Gordon so I could be closer to my mom, closer to home. They denied it twice. They were still trying to send me to Korea so I can go back to Iraq. So, honestly, at that point, I went AWOL. You know? And, again, a lot of people don't know that, but I'm on AWOL. Went AWOL for probably about 2 weeks. At the most. And then my first son called me. It's like, okay, what is it you want to do? I was like, I want out. It's like, all right, I'll get you out. Just come back in. Yeah. I went back in. At the time, he told me, he's like, you know, you're going to lose rank. So he dropped me down from an E5 to an E1. I didn't even care. You didn't care. I just wanted out. Yeah. But he did look out for me to the point where he gave me a general discharge under honorable conditions. Okay. You know?
What does that mean?
That means that I'm still able to get my benefits from the military. Okay. Versus having a dishonorable discharge.
So that's what really matters a lot to a lot of people, the benefits. Yeah. I hear a lot of people that's in the Army that complain about not getting paid a lot of money, but the benefits make up for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the benefits. That's what means the most, because it's not the money. You know, the money is just like working almost a factory job here. You know. Right. You know. Right. I mean, once you get up in the rank, yeah, the more money you make, but you know, that's just like with any job that you're on. You got to start entry level and you got to work your way up.
Right. So, leaving the Army, what was the next place you went to? You left the Army.
I left the Army and
moved to Atlanta.
I moved to Atlanta. Yeah.
So how long you stayed in Atlanta?
I stayed in Atlanta. I moved in Atlanta in 2006, I think. So it's been what?
2006?
Yeah.
Oh, that's been 14
years. Yeah. 14
so
years.
You just moved back down.
Well, I say 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years because I came back to Augusta. I've been back in Augusta for 2 years now.
2 years, okay.
So I stayed in Atlanta for 12 years on in different parts on the outskirts, you know. Yeah. I've probably been I've been on every side of it.
Right.
North, east, south. And
So what you learned about being in Atlanta, living in Atlanta? What you learned?
man, that city life, man. Yeah. You know, it was something different for me because, I mean, I'm a country boy. I came from Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I mean, it was something new for me. I didn't know nothing about being in the city like that and growing up in the city. So, I mean, of course, it was a new experience for me. But, you know, I also had learned from being in the military how to adapt very quickly to life-changing situations. Right. So, you know, moving to Atlanta and getting there, you know, it didn't take me long to adapt to it and then start getting used to it. And it just became a natural thing to me to live the lifestyle. You know, I wanted to be in the music industry. Yeah. So I started working as a manager. I write music. However, I never did anything with my writing, but I was definitely working as a manager and as a promoter. And I was basically picking up local talent within the city of the outskirts or wherever and trying to put them on in the industry. As far as with the connections that I had and the connections that I was building with open mic nights and, you know, things of that nature. And, I mean, it was working out for a while, but, you know, at the end of the day, it never made no money for me to the point where I can retire right now. You know what I'm saying? Right.
What was the reason behind it? Was there any reasons why it didn't go through? Because, I mean, dealing with artists, and I know when you invest a lot of money, I know. Mm-hmm. Like, how many artists did you have? How many artists were you managing at once?
At one time, I had I want to say probably about 8 artists at one time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But the part that was hard is I wasn't very familiar with what a manager was supposed to do. So I took up on the road as taking artists in and putting money behind them, but they wasn't putting money behind themselves.
They was depending on you.
They was depending upon me.
Right.
But here's the thing, if they didn't make it, I didn't make it. Right. You know? So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm putting all this money behind them. We doing shows, we doing tours and all that. Yeah, I mean, that was good while we was doing it. But at the end of the day, when I go home, they go home and like they don't have to do nothing. And just wait on me to do everything. And that's the part that became a problem. Right. When I started getting more experience of how to be a manager. It's like, okay, hold up, this is not the way it's supposed to be, you know? I'm not getting nothing out of this. If anything, I'm taking out of my pocket, right. You know, trying to put you on. Right. But you ain't doing nothing for yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't gonna work, you know? So, that took a toll on me to the point it's like, okay, I can't continue doing this. I mean, it broke up a couple of relationships because of that, you know? Because I used to take money out my home and put it into my artists who I believe will make it, but at the end of the day, they didn't make it. Right. You know?
Right. So, being in Atlanta and you also been on a lot of film sets, acting, doing what made you get into the acting?
Oh yeah. Pretty much when I got to the point where I didn't want to really do the managing thing in the music industry anymore, I started looking for a different avenue in the industry to go for. And, you know, at the time, it just so happened Hollywood pretty much moved from California to Atlanta. Right. And that's right there at the right time. So I started looking more into it and I started doing background acting. And I got into doing background acting, got in a couple major films, started getting featured, a couple of TV shows and things of that nature. Granted, I never thought I would want to be the person to be an actor because I was always that shy person. Like, I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to be on camera. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that was never my thing to think that I would do that. But, however, I had to really tell myself, like, look, if whatever I'm going for, whatever I'm trying to do, I can't depend upon nobody else to make money for me. Right. I can't depend upon nobody else to put me in that spot. Right. I got to go do it myself. Right. So, you know, with background acting, I started learning more and more from it to figure out how the whole operation worked, you know, and I started getting more into it. And then one of my artists that been there with me from day one, still here there with me, he's great rapper. Actually, he's still doing it, you know. Out of everybody I work with, he's still one of the ones that's still going, right. You know what I'm saying? And I love his music. But he also came to me saying he wanted to write scripts. You know what I'm saying? And now he created Piff Films. He was first one that gave me a speaking role, believe it or not, which was an independent film.
Right.
But that particular independent film turned me into be able to do some major other films.
Right.
You know, just doing something with him, man. I mean, that's just films that we was doing on YouTube, and we still do them now. You know, but he gave me the role to, well, he gave me the courage to actually go out and upgrade and put my all into what I'm doing. You know, and he, to this day, he just told me today like how much he believed in me and he knew I would do it. And I'm like, I didn't believe in myself at the time, but it was his push that pushed me to that point. And now it's like, okay, I'm really at the point now, like, okay, it's whatever. I believe I can do anything, you know. And then, I mean, I'm not scared to try.
Right. So you wind up opening up a shop. Electronic repair, computer repair, laptop repair, phone repair. What made you get into the repair business?
I went to school for computer science, which is one of the things I went to school for.
Okay.
But I always wanted to work on computers, but however, I never got it to the point where I was going to open up my own shop. However, living here in Augusta, I had a neighbor that was fixing phones. And I saw how much he was making money, and at the time he came to me with a great idea about us working together. He said he's tired of working for somebody. Me, myself, I chose not to work for nobody no more after doing 8 years at the VA in Atlanta. It's like I'm done, you know. So it's like we just came together and put some ideas together, and by the grace of God, finances came through in a different way, to the point where I was able to invest into opening up the shop with his idea, and that's basically just what I did, you know. Okay. I put the money behind him. Again, I didn't want to. It was kind of hard because I didn't want to put no money and no trust into somebody else to make me successful. I wanted to do it on my own. Right. But you know, this was a different avenue of investing that I was doing. And I mean, I trust in his work, and I saw the clientele that he already had before he even came to me with the idea, you know. So with that being said, you know, I put the money behind him. He opened up his shop, and it's running today, you know.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So let's go back to Atlanta. You was working at the VA. Mm-hmm. An incident happened at the VA where they let you go.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah. So Atlanta VA, oh man. Everybody watching this already know I got a lot to say about it. But hey, make a long story short, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm gonna speak my mind. I ain't scared to. So I mean, I was working with a lot of black females at the Atlanta VA. And for whatever reason, they would not let nobody overstep that circle that they had amongst each other to get promoted to the next level. Yeah. You know, so, you know, it got to a point where I would apply for a job and I would get denied the job, but one of the females would get hired for the job.
Will get the job.
And I know for a fact that this female didn't have more experience than me, didn't have more knowledge than me. It's the VA, wasn't a veteran, because that's another thing about the VA. It's supposed to cater to the veterans. You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to be the first ones for the jobs. Right. But when it got to the point where all that was happening, I'm not the type of person to sit back and just be quiet and not say nothing. So I started making noise. And when I started making noise, of course, I put a target on my head, you know, and they started watching me more and more. And any of the thing that I did wrong,
chastised you, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it got to the point where, you know, they fired me. It's like, okay, in 2015, I had an apartment fire. And I lost everything I own.
Yeah, you got an apartment fire?
Yeah, the whole building burned down.
Oh, man, the whole building?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say there was multiple families in there?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Man. That's terrible.
So I lost everything I owned. So that was like it happened in October. So I didn't go to work for November and December. And being that I do have a disability where I suffer from PTSD. I was calling in work during the time, telling them, okay, I can't come to work because I was stressed out from it. I didn't have nowhere to go. I lost everything I own.
Right.
It's very stressful for me. It's a lot of things that I deal with. A lot of people don't understand.
Right.
It's some things can't even be explained unless you walked in those shoes before.
Right.
But for the most part, when I was calling in, telling them I couldn't come to work, and I was calling in with FMLA at the time. That was like my lead for my disability. They told me that I couldn't use that because it didn't relate to my disability. One, they ain't supposed to know that. Two, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how I feel. But make a long story short, those 2 months I didn't go to work. 6 months later, they used that against me and fired me. Because I was making noise about the job that I didn't get.
Wow. So months later, they let you go.
6 months later.
6 months later.
6 months later, they let me go over that.
That's crazy.
They found a way to get rid of me.
So ever since then, that just made you not want to work for nobody else.
Man, I can't work, man. I'm not working for nobody else.
Right.
I'm done.
Right.
I'm done.
Right.
It's that took everything out of me. You know what I'm saying? I did 8 years with the VA. I was on my way to the retirement.
Damn, man.
And all in the federal service. 12 years in the federal service.
Now you're eligible for retirement.
20 I would have been eligible.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they let me go after 8 years, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I know I have issues, and I know I have a problem with working with people, but I definitely don't feel like that was a reason to fire me. But they found a way. All honesty, I feel like they had other reasons that would have more.
They could have did you before.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you go fire me over this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, y'all fired me, so I'm gonna live my life, man, and I'm gonna try to make it ends meet by any means necessary. So of course, that actually helped me. It helped me get my disability. You know what I'm saying? So been pretty much living as a disabled veteran since then. But with the things that I'm doing outside of that, it's not even a job. This is for fun. This is therapeutic for me. Just to try to intervene into social reality. You know what I'm saying? Into social, be around people and stuff. Because I have my time. Sometimes I don't want to be around nobody.
Right.
I'll sit here by myself.
Right.
For days. And nobody will never know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I might be depressed for days. Nobody will never know that. So, actually going to a 9-to-5 job, yeah, it's not going to work.
Right. So, the nation is in chaos at the moment. We got a lot of riots.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of protesting. We got a lot of looting,
Mm-hmm.
vandalism, different things like that. What are your thoughts about what's going on right now in the United States?
I think it's time for us as black men to stand up. I think it's time for us to really represent and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that, it can't be peaceful, but I think it's time for us to stand up and be more aggressive with the situation. Right. To let people know that, okay, what's going on in the world is nothing new.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's happening every day. Right. Sometimes it get caught, sometimes it don't. But, I've been through some racist situations, even back in my past. My son is biracial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went through some racist situations back in Lincoln. Right. When he was conceived.
What happened?
Well, his mom had an issue and she was threatened by black girls, and I had an issue where I was threatened by the football coach. Mm. And it got to the point we both had end up leaving Lincoln and separating, and we just met back up for the first time last year.
Dang. Off that incident?
Yep.
Ah, man. That's crazy.
So, I've been through it, and again, a lot of people might not even know that. I've been through it, but I've been through it in Atlanta, and actually Alpharetta got stopped by the police.
What happened?
He actually didn't stop me. I had a flat tire on the side of the road, and at the time when I had a flat tire, I was sitting there waiting because it was raining. Right. So I was waiting till the rain stopped so I could change the tire. Right. Anyway, he pulled up like 30 minutes later after I've been waiting. Right. Granted, I ain't gonna lie to you, yeah, within those 30 minutes, I popped over a beer and started drinking it. Right. Yeah, I admit to that. Right. Was I drinking it before? No. Right. I was trying to get to my destination. Right. But with that being said, when he saw that the beer was open, he assumed that I was driving drunk. And he had me out in the rain doing a sobriety test. One, that's not lawful. I know this now because I just graduated from criminal justice. Right. So that's not legal.
So the police do a lot of things to civilians that because they feel like we don't know. A lot of civilians don't know the law.
Right. And that's the reason why I went to school for criminal justice. Right. Because if you don't know the law, then you allow these things to happen. You can't speak up for yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's the whole point behind it. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what it is you can and cannot do. And and that's how I am. If I know it's something that not legal, oh yeah, I'm going to say something. If I know something that's not right, I'm going to say something. I don't care what it is. Right. I don't care to who it is. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I've been doing for a long time throughout my life and throughout my career because, like I said, from where I came from, I was always that passive, shy guy. Right. You know, I'm completely different now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm going to say something. If it's not right, if it's not legal, yeah, I'm going to say something. So that's how the police are getting over on people because if you don't know, then you don't know. You're just going to go along with whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? But knowing the law is definitely a key to making a change in our society. Right. You definitely got to know the law. Right. And then that's something that they've been teaching us from day one. Knowledge is power. Right. You know? But I mean, I think it's time for us to stand up and really make a difference. But, you know, I'm not with the looting and breaking into places and stealing that. No, that's not the way to do it, you know. To really be honest, I mean, to really throw it out there, it is what it is. You agree with it or not. But, you know, me and my partner was talking about, it's like, okay, if you really want to make a difference, go to the courthouse and take all the pictures off the wall. Right. Go to the jail and demand everybody with misdemeanors and on child support to get out. Right. Go do that. You know what I'm saying? That makes a difference. That makes a statement. Right. Burn the money in your pocket. Huh? Burn the money in your pocket. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the money had a slave owner. Every president was a slave owner. Yeah. Exactly. Money. You know what I'm saying? Even that, go and support your black businesses and stop buying from other people. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Right. Do that. It's ways to do it, but people, I mean, it's like the way they doing it now, just going and break into a place. That's personal. Right. You know what I'm saying? You go to the Nike outlet, yeah, I'm about to go break in here so I can get me a whole bunch of Jordans. That's personal. Yeah, some people, that ain't making no statement. Because some people, I was saying, like a lot of people, some people was breaking in the Gucci store. See what I'm saying? And I'm like, what does breaking in the Gucci store has? That just you wanted the Gucci belt. Right. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So there's a lot of people I've seen. There's a lot of people that. Because George Floyd wasn't the first one that got killed by the police. Right. And a lot of people think that what's going on is because of him. It isn't because just of him. It's because of the mountain of people that was killed by the cops. Right. So it's a build-up. It's just getting to the point where the stress level is starting to come out now. You know what I'm saying? More. And it's coming out with more and more black people. More and more black men. Right. Us black men, we are struggling. Right. A lot of people don't understand it. We are struggling. We are catching hell out here trying to live in this life. You know what I'm saying? And trying to maintain our family, trying to take care of our family, trying to raise our kids. But we are getting on every side some type of negativity, some type of, you know what I'm saying? If one black man go over here and rob somebody, then that's basically everybody looking at the next black man and say he go do it too. And that's not the case. Right. You know what I'm saying? if that was the case, okay, if one white person go over here and shoot up the kids in the school, does that mean every white man's going to go do that?
Right.
Every white guy's going to go do that? That's not the same. I don't see it like that, but why do they look at us like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's one of those things, like, you know, you just, I don't know, man. It's one of those things, like, you can't judge one person. You can't judge everybody by one person. Right. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You know, and I mean, with this situation, at the same time, I feel like, okay, yeah, that definitely was wrong. But there's a way we can handle that. Right. And that's a better way that we can handle that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it still goes on both sides. And I mean, and like I said, I'm always the type of person, you know, I look at both sides of the situation, you know. And I mean, even if I'm wrong, if you tell me I'm wrong, then I'm going to listen to you. I'm not going to argue with you. And I'm going to observe and look at my situation and try to figure out, where was I wrong at? Okay, maybe I was wrong. Right. Okay, with that being said, I can come back and apologize. Right. But, you know, everybody ain't like that, you know. That's true. You know, and that's black, white, Mexican, anybody, Asian, it don't matter. Right. Everybody makes mistakes, you know what I'm saying? But it's the factor of correcting the mistakes that makes the difference, and how you learn from them.
Okay. So, one more question. So you own Love and Hip Hop, Augusta Perry.
Yeah.
Your character is Janky.
Yeah.
Janky. So what made you come up with the name Janky? And,
well,
what was your process, and what made you think about joining Love and Hip Hop Perry?
Well, I mean, my mama named me Janky because that's what she named me, because I was born on April Fool's Day, and she said when I came out that I was going to be Janky, but look, I came up with Janky because me being a promoter up in Atlanta and doing the things I do, I've been around a lot of people, and I see how they treat people and treat artists rather, and do things. And I mean, I can tell, you know, I never wanted to be that type of person or that type of promoter. And I never followed those footsteps. But however, I've been around other people that have, as far as with being a janky promoter and just taking advantage of artists that's really trying to get on and get out there. Yeah. I'm not like that, you know, not in real life. I'm not like that for real. But being that I've been around them, I find it funny, and I found it a need to let it be known that there are a lot of promoters out there like that, and you got to be careful, especially being an artist trying to come up in your music career. Right. You got to be careful who you deal with.
You're going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money and time.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of money and time.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of people that say, okay, I can get you to the next level and take all your money, and you never made it. Right. You know, it's I've seen it happen so many times. Right. You know, so it was so easy for me to come up with that role because I find it funny, but at the same time, it's really a serious thing. Right. You know, especially somebody who take their music and their crowd very seriously.
I seen a promoter in North Carolina. I ain't gonna say his name, but he had a show, and he had I think he had Pastor Troy and someone else there at the show, and he took the money from like 4 artists and promised them that they could perform. And then at the end of the night, well, you know, it was getting late. The show was supposed to be over at 2. Here it is at 1:30, and Pastor Troy's getting on the stage.
That's the last performance.
You already know that's the last performance. So
that's it.
You already know. So once Pastor Troy got on there, the artists that paid, I think they paid like $200-$300 to open up for Pastor Troy. They looking for the promoter. So they had to call the police and everything because they wanted to kick his ass. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I know exactly. I've
seen it happen several times, man.
Right.
Several times. And I mean, at the end of the day, it says a lot about the person you are, but, you know, I'm all about trying to help people, you know, and I never been one of those type of promoters for, you know, and if anything, I've taken more out of my pocket to help somebody than anything, you know, even down to the, you know, everything that I'm doing now. I mean, not only my business, I also run a nonprofit organization called Garnett Community Resources, where I give back to the community and as well as provide legal assistance for those people that can't afford attorneys. Yeah,
Oh,
because you know public defenders ain't gonna do nothing.
Public defenders can't give you nothing, but the charge.
But yeah, that's where I came up with Janky at because of the promoters I've been around and the people I've been around. Not necessarily just in Atlanta, but just in general. And then seeing how they operate and seeing how they take advantage of artists. I mean, it's a lot of times there's nothing I could say because it's not my business. Sometimes it's best to keep quiet. But I know not to be that person. But, you know, I felt like it's a parody on Love and Hip Hop of Augusta, so it's time for me, hey, I'm going to say something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make fun of it.
Right. So, all right, man, before we start off on NewbieVeT, man, how can they get in contact with you, man, your business and social media?
Man, you can find me on, it's Darc Chain, spelled with a C, D-A-R-C, Chain, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find me pretty much. Darc Chain is trademarked, so my name is going to be floating around a lot. I'm also doing a clothing line, so I mean, just remember that name. You know, it's not hard to find. You can pretty much Google it, and it's going to come up. So if you really need to get in touch with me or something, it's not a problem. It's not an issue.
Right.
Yeah. I Fix Mobile Solutions in Augusta on Bobby Jones. That's the cell phone repair shop. You know, I may not be there every day, but my technician there. But definitely, if you need your cell phone fixed, come check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Dope spot too, by the way. Whenever they checked it out, man. It's dope.
Appreciate that.
Dope.
Man.
So, any love you want to shout out?
Huh?
Any love you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to. You know, I got love for my dog, Bella. Where my dog at? Hold on, man. Where my dog at? Where you at? Okay, yeah. That's my love right here, man.
You gotta be the first black, the only and the first black guy in
That's my love right here.
Domination. How old is she?
She's one, man. She's one. Yeah.
First
my baby
black
here.
guy in the Augusta Domination. Them dogs are expensive too.
Oh yeah, very expensive, man.
That's a full Dalmatian too, ain't it?
Yeah, full blood.
Full blood.
Yeah. Came straight from the breeder.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.